Are we ready? We'll call the meeting of September 4th to order. It's 4:03 p.m. and the first order of business is to elect a chair for the session.
No. You're the vice chair, aren't you?
No?
Okay.
It was Chuck.
Chuck was.
Jessica, we don't have a vice chair or a chair today. We're going to have to do an election.
Perfect.
So
I'd like to nominate Bruce to be the interim chair today.
do we have a second?
I'll second
Other
that.
Nominations or? And all those in favor, or however we're going to do that, please say aye.
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 Thank you. So, we start with roll call.
Commissioner Fair? Present. Commissioner Knight?
Present.
Commissioner Sievertson?
Here.
Commissioner Summers?
Here.
Commissioner Smith?
Here.
And Commissioners Herlihy and Loring are not with us today.
And we have next an oath of office, but we're not going to do that. But next month, I'm told, Ted's going to be here.
He will be here, so you can decide, do you want to do your elections today, or do you want to hold it off one more month until...
Doesn't make any difference to me if he's coming back. What? Yeah. What's your pleasure? I'm not in charge. Well, maybe I am, but I'm not really. We'll wait.
Thank you.
It's official, so no election of officers. Approval of minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
And a second?
I will second that.
Are there any comments or corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention? Nothing. Okay, no public hearings continued. We have a new public hearing. The Briggs alterations to an existing addition at 2136 2nd Street, APN 002-094-004. Project Historic Preservation HP 24-0005.
We have Assistant Planner Alex Gonzalez presenting, and I'm pulling up the presentation now.
Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm Alexandra Gonzalez, and I'll be presenting.
Oops, sorry.
Back. There you go. And I'll be presenting the Briggs alterations to an existing addition at 2136 2nd Street. 2136 2nd Street is located in the northeastern portion of Eureka. Moving in closer, the subject property is located on the corner of 2nd and W in the Service Commercial District. And the applicant is requesting the approval to alter an existing 160 square foot addition at the southeast corner of the home. According to the Green Book, the historic structure is described as a 1.5 story frame, vernacular Greek revival structure with a enclosed entry and projecting slanted bay window and hipped roof. It was constructed in circa 1888. The Sanborn maps indicate the residence was originally rectangular in the 1900s, and then sometime between the 1900s and 1955, there was an approximately 160 square foot addition added to the southeast corner or portion of the structure. Here, located in red. Here's an image of the addition from W Street. The alterations will consist of replacing all the siding and skirting on the 160 square foot addition to match the rest of the residence, as well as adding about 2.5 square feet of floor area to the southeast corner and removing the doorway on the eastern facing wall and infilling it with siding to match the rest of the residence. Here's a rendering of what the proposed project will look like from W Street. The applicant proposes to use custom milled cedar in the same dimensions and design as the existing redwood siding and skirting shown in this picture. They propose to reuse the existing vinyl windows and use a roofing material that matches the existing roof. As documented within the staff report, Eureka Municipal Code requires a proposed alteration to be reviewed in the light of its effect on the existing historical character of the affected structure as it relates to the streetscape. In addition, the analysis was based upon the Secretary of Interior standards for the treatment of historic property, specifically the standards for rehabilitation. And this treatment standard was chosen by staff because the proposal will alter a historic structure to meet the evolving needs of the site while retaining the structure's original rectangular shape and creating continuity in siding material between the original residence and the later addition. So our recommendation is to hold a public hearing and adopt a resolution finding the project is exempt from CEQA and approve it with some conditions. Staff is available if you have questions. I don't think our applicant is on Zoom today, but we can definitely relay any information to them as well. And then we have a suggested motion, but we'll stop screen sharing for some discussion.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions of staff? Hearing none. Do we have an applicant? You said not on Zoom, you don't
I
think?
don't
but
think they're on Zoom.
Or is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak?
No.
Hearing none.
There's nobody but staff on Zoom.
No, nobody.
I'll turn it over to the commissioners, and do you have questions, comments, a motion? Well, personally, I think it's a nice addition, going back to the original siding.
Yeah.
It's certainly something special to match the materials that are there. I remember when I came before the Planning Commission or the Historic Preservation Commission and was asked to try and match, when I built a garage, the siding on the house. And it took me a few months. I went around where they were tearing a house or two down and captured that material. I actually had to pay a 6-pack of beer for several boards one time. That was the only thing I ever paid for it, and ended up very nice with the house. And I'm very excited about this taking place. That said,
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm just trying to understand it, but the elevation shows like a longer window, but it says it's going to replace the windows with the 2 existing windows. So is that just not drawn
Yeah, that's
accurately, or that one window will actually be the 2 windows?
Yeah, that's most likely just like an applicant just drawing it not accurately, but we have confirmation that it'll be the existing vinyl windows that's on there right now.
as I read through the report, I believe that window is already in the building in another location.
It's in the same location. So they'll just be taking it out and putting it back in once they redo the siding.
The 2 windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume those were unpermitted at the time they were put in.
Yeah, unfortunately, a previous owner replaced all the wood windows with vinyl before it got sold. Yeah.
And just to continue that conversation about vinyl windows, an applicant we had a couple of months ago is on her 3rd set of vinyl windows, Doris Tim. I saw her the other day, and she said this 3rd set has failed
Wow.
Yeah.
on about a 5 to 7 year cycle. She's lived in the house 20-some years. So it's something we talk about quite often, putting in vinyl windows, and she was asking for direction to have new wooden windows rebuilt or built for all the existing house.
Yeah.
So hopefully these will last longer than 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion if we can throw the motion up. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, this isn't it. This doesn't have the number on it.
It should be on there, but yours isn't.
No, mine's not. Oh, my screen isn't up. I'll look at yours. I move the Historic Preservation Commission adopt a resolution finding the project exempt from CEQA and conditionally approving the alterations at 2136 2nd Street.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'm curious why they're removing the door. It seems to be the only exit in the back.
Yeah, I'm not really sure the reasoning on that. I believe it's to kind of, there's an interior hallway that leads from that door into what used to be a kitchen back there. And the goal is to make that addition into a full bathroom instead of a half bathroom. So removing that hallway kind of allows for that. Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll move for a vote. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The other thing? I'm supposed to ask something else, but approve, oppose, abstain. Thank you very much. I'm thinking I'm getting on a plane about this time tomorrow and flying to Tucson. All right, thank you very much. You will speak with the applicant,
Yes.
let them know everything is fine.
Yeah, 10-day appeal period until building permits and things like that.
Okay, thank you very much. On to old business. We have none. New business, we have none. Director's reports and communication. Lisa?
We have just a quick report. So, gonna. So Ted Loring found an ad in the Times Standard for a low budget window restoration, and we have added the link to our website. So here's the slide. So there's a link to the city's website for historic windows. So is it going to open?
Pick your browser.
Which takes you to our website. And then the second link actually takes you to a link embedded in our website also. So the second link would be turn that off. Stop. It doesn't have anywhere to exit.
Stop and Derek will make it go away.
Do what?
Stop and Derek will make it go away.
Thanks.
You can't do it if you're still moving the mouse.
Yes, there you go. So this is the link to the online window restoration guide. And I can click back to the link slide if you guys want them.
That's great.
Any questions?
Is this something where you provide, or the homeowner provides the dimensions of the window and then you have your fingers crossed that they'll be made and installed properly, or is there any local representation?
We haven't done enough research yet to see how it works, but Ted seemed to think that it was very positive.
All right. I just had somebody come to our home this last week to replace wood windows, and I'm not aware of anything that's out of the area that would be an alternative.
So this is Raylene upstairs, and I've done some research on before we posted it, I looked around the website quite a bit. It seems to be a class that you can pay the gentleman for, and he does an online class to teach you how to repair your own,
Oh,
or how to seal your own, install your own.
okay.
From what I looked through it, didn't seem extremely expensive for the class, and he does them online.
Thank you, Raylene.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have a comment if there's no questions. When I was on the Historic Preservation Commission in Santa Cruz, we did workshops for window restoration, and they were well attended. Myself and another individual put on 3 or 4 of them. And I don't know if Santa Cruz still does them or not. The fellow I worked with has passed away, and times change. But there might be other communities that have similar workshops as well. I know Bob Felter does window workshops. In fact, he did one maybe 6 weeks ago in conjunction with Eureka Heritage Society and Timber Heritage Association.
What was his name?
Bob Felter, Felter.
Thank you.
He used to teach at CR and did some restoration, constantly restoring buildings downtown and that. He's off on a trip right now. I'm trying to borrow scaffolding off of him, is why I know so much about where he is. He'd be a good person to contact, and I can send you his contact information if you'd like.
Thank you. That'd be great.
No problem at all. Well, thank you for the report. Are there other reports and communications? Hearing none. Public comment period. Seeing no one in the audience, is there anyone on Zoom that would like to comment about HPC? So that leaves item I, adjournment? Yes, L. JKI. All in favor of adjourning? Adjourned.